What I want to do in this video is talk about a new Splatoon in 2024, but I'm not going to be talking about Splatoon 4 because I think we can all agree there is no chance we will get Splatoon 4 in 2024 because the main team, they will be busy working on Splatoon 3 all the way up until September 2024. We know that we are getting new content all of the time. Aside all the DLC will be coming out. We are getting new seasons in 2024, which means a bunch of new content will still be coming to the game in 2024. So new stages, hopefully new weapons, maybe new gear as well as new hairstyles. We will be getting a bunch of new content for Splatoon 3, so there is no way, no possibility that we will be getting Splatoon 4 in 2024. What has sparked this video off though is pretty much all of the rumours surrounding a brand new Switch coming out in 2024, the Switch 2. I know this did get denied by Nintendo's president, but he wouldn't necessarily come out and confirm these rumours before the Christmas season anyway. It would hurt their season in terms of the Switch sales. But according to sites like VGC and Eurogamer, apparently the Switch 2 will be coming out in the second half of next year. Developers like Activision have already been showing it off, and apparently at Gamescom earlier on in the year there was a dev kit there. The Switch 2 did get shown off. Apparently there was demos for Breath of the Wild and The Matrix shown off. So in the rest of the video I'm going to talk about why I feel like we will see some sort of Splatoon game on the Switch 2 if it does come out next year, and why I feel like it will be a spin-off. But yeah, I feel like maybe Nintendo will want to get a Splatoon game of some sort on the Switch 2 if it is going to come out in 2024. I feel like Nintendo will want to have a Splatoon game of some sort early on to move over the Japanese audience, and what better way to move over the Japanese audience than a Splatoon game made by a completely different team than the main team, and it will be a spin-off game. And I'm looking at the IPs that do typically well in Japan, and I feel like Nintendo will want to do well in their homeland like what the Switch has done. It is selling really well in Japan, and I feel like they will want to get off to a really good start in every region, but of course in Japan as well. And I'm looking at the IPs that could do really well in Japan, like Mario Kart, maybe that will be coming out, but Pokemon as well, that does really well in Japan. I don't feel like Game Freak will make a new Pokemon for 2024 to come out on the Switch 2. Typically what they do is they wait for a few years before they do move over to the new hardware. It's like, I can remember it took them a while for those games to come out on the DS, even though the DS had been out for a few years before those games did come out. We still got Pokemon games on the Game Boy Advance, and the most recent example is we still got Pokemon games on the 3DS, so Ultra Sun and Moon, even though the Switch was out by then. So yeah, I don't feel like we will get a new Pokemon game on the Switch 2, but I feel like maybe we could see a Splatoon game of some sort, like a spin-off game. Splatoon is so popular in Japan, I definitely feel like they will want to capitalise on that popularity to try and get people to move over to the Switch 2 if it does come out next year. And I feel like a good way to do that is a Splatoon game of some sort, and I feel like what Nintendo might do is tap up another team out there, maybe within Nintendo themselves or maybe outside of the company, to make a game in the Splatoon universe. And if you do look at their most popular IPs like Zelda, Mario, even Animal Crossing with Home Designer, they got spin-off games, and Splatoon, it definitely is up there in terms of popularity. It is selling really well. And yeah, I definitely feel like now is the right time for Nintendo to maybe explore a spin-off game of some sort. And maybe that is what the Deep Cut Splatfest was about. Us selecting the leader for Deep Cut, maybe that will play its role within a spin-off game. Maybe Deep Cut will be exploring more of the Splatlands area. Maybe they will have to hunt for treasure within the Splatlands area, and we will have to help them along the way, overcoming any trials and tribulations that do pop up. Maybe it could be like an RPG. Maybe it could be a game full of puzzles that will work well with a treasure hunt sort of game. Let them know what spin-off game you would want to see in the comment section below. What would you want to see? What genre would you want to see it in? Would you want it to stick to the third person shooter? Would you want to see an open world sort of situation? I don't feel like that would be possible for a spin-off game, because that would mean that the team who did make that game would have had to start developing it quite a while ago. Open world games take ages to develop. I don't feel like it will be an open world game. I feel like it will be a game that might not require as much time to develop for, and maybe like a puzzle game, or maybe like a rhythm based game. I know a lot of people like to see Squid Beats expanded into its own sort of game. In the original trailer for the first Splatoon game on the Wii U, we did get to see a 2D platformer sort of game mode, but that never came to the game, so maybe that could be revived in some sort of format, and maybe we could see a 2D platformer Splatoon game. I'm going to be honest and say that doesn't really interest me. Or maybe Nintendo could go more in depth with the roguelike genre. We have seen that with the side or the DLC. So Nintendo aren't afraid to sort of take Splatoon into new genres, and maybe Nintendo will do the same with a spin-off game. Splatoon 4 will not be coming out until 2025 at the earliest, and that would only mean a year long in development. I just can't see that happening. I just don't feel like Splatoon 4 will come out until maybe 2026. I do believe Splatoon 3, it did take maybe 2 or 3 years to develop, and I just feel like because this new system, it will be better in specs, it will allow for better graphics, maybe bigger games in scope, maybe it will take the team longer to adapt to that sort of thing. But even like taking that aside, I just can't see Splatoon 4 coming out early in the Switch 2's life cycle. So I feel like Nintendo will definitely want to have some sort of Splatoon game on the Switch 2, and I feel like we will see a spin-off game, a new spin-off game, the first for the Splatoon series. I definitely feel like the Switch 2 will see that. I definitely feel like 2024 will be a good possibility for that to happen. It could even be a launch title for the Switch 2. By the way, when I said launch title, I didn't mean a game that would actually release on the same day as when the system did come out. I don't feel like that would happen, but I feel like it will maybe come out in the launch window for the Switch 2. Kind of like what happened with Splatoon 2. You could say that it did come out in the launch window for the Switch, maybe from March to July. Maybe that is stretching it a little bit, but say like if the Switch 2 is coming out in August, then maybe the spin-off game could come out in maybe October, or maybe even like September, or it could be the game that comes out in December, kind of like what happened with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section below. I guess it all depends on whether these reports are true or not. I don't feel like we will get a spin-off game for the Switch if the Switch 2 doesn't come out next year. I definitely feel like it will just be like a Switch 2 exclusive sort of thing. But yeah, if the Switch 2 is coming out next year, then what better way to get those Japanese gamers over to the Switch 2 than releasing a game in the Splatoon universe. And if Nintendo are really focusing on that Japanese market, then maybe all of the idols will be featured. Those idols are so popular in Japan, they have their own concerts over there. So yeah, I definitely feel like if it is going to be a spin-off game, then I definitely feel like it probably will be focusing on those idols, and maybe we get to play as them for the first time. I know this is complete speculation, but I definitely want to hear what you have to say about what I have had to say about everything in this video. And yeah, let me know your thoughts about Splatoon 4 as well. Like, I just don't feel like it will be coming out anytime soon, but maybe you might feel different to me. I already know I'm going to get comments accusing me of talking about Splatoon 4 too early, but that wasn't the main focus of the video. I really do feel like a spin-off game is possible on the Switch 2.